And therefore, I want to say hi to Ingvill. Ingvill Berg is Executive Vice President of Orkla. Ingvill, are you there? I'm not sure we're hearing you, so is your microphone switched on?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yeah, it's all perfect now. So, Orkla's story on the sustainability and sustainable investments in your business of confectionery and snacks. Ingvill, many thanks for joining us. So it's the same thing. We're trying to fit our presentations into 10, maximum 11 minutes, and then a quick set of follow-up questions. I encourage the audience once again to send in those through Slido and prioritize the questions. So even if you're not asking questions, you might log on to Slido and vote for something, for a question that someone else has asked and that you want addressed to our speaker. Ingvill, 10 minutes, the floor is yours, please.
Thank you. Yes, hello. So my name is Ingvill Berg, and I'm really honored to be here today and talk about sustainability in Orkla and also green transition in Latvia. So I'm quite new into the role as CEO of the Confectionery and Snacks business area, but I've been with the business for 15 years. And over these 15 years, I've seen that the focus on sustainability has been growing every year in Orkla, and is now very much an integrated part of how we do business. For me, sustainability is both a business opportunity and also a responsibility. Because with all the focus now we have from the consumers, from the customers, from our investors, we see a number of business opportunities arising, both for driving more revenues and also cutting costs. But then, independent of the business opportunities, it is also a responsibility, because we know that 25% of greenhouse gas emissions is coming from the food production value chain. And being a big food production company, we do have a responsibility to do something. And being big in the Nordics, like we are, what we do actually does make a difference. So that is also very important. So it's all the time about this balance between both the business part of it and the responsibility part of it. And so just a few words on Orkla. We are a leading supplier of branded consumer goods. Our main markets is in the Nordics and Baltics, and we are also represented in some selected geographies in Central Europe and in India. So we operate in 22 countries, but our products are sold in more than 100 markets. And the core of our business is very much building strong local positions based on local consumer insight, local brands. But then at the same time, being this big company, it's also important for us to use that and drive flexibility and synergies across markets. So the heart of our business is our brands. We have a mission that we want to improve everyday life for the consumers with sustainable and enjoyable local brands. And we have more than 300 brands in our portfolio. One of them is Laima, which is one of the oldest ones in our portfolio and one of the most beloved Latvian brands. Sustainability in Orkla has been very much on the agenda for a long time. And already in 2005, we committed to UN's Global Compact. Being a strong local player, we believe that we can have a positive impact on the societies where we are present. And we want to take the lead in the transition to sustainable production and consumption. And by that, meaning that we want our products to be sustainable, we want them to be responsibly produced, we want to use sustainable raw materials, we want to have renewable packaging, we want to have a climate footprint that is as low as possible, and also working on the nutrition value of our products. And working on all these aspects and doing this transition from sustainable to sustainable production and consumption, we are working a lot and focusing a lot on the sustainability development goal number 12. I heard Nestlé talking about 6 goals, so we are focusing on goal number 12, but also, of course, having a positive impact on several of the other goals as well. In our sustainability strategy that you also see here on the page, we are targeting these 5 areas where we work and where we had set clear targets. And these 5 pillars, they are about the nutritional value of our products. It is about food safety. It is about sustainable sourcing, climate footprint, environmental engagement, and not least also caring for people and society, and having this focus on building strong local engagement for sustainability. Our story in Latvia, that started back in 2004 when we acquired Spilva, and later we acquired a number of other beloved Latvian brands like Adashu, Laima, and Selga. We have today the production of these brands in 5 different facilities in Latvia, and we are very devoted to building a strong, sustainable business in Latvia and have a strong commitment to that. So in 2020, we built this new chocolate factory in Adashi, and we are currently now building a new factory with a focus on biscuit and wafer production. So I'll talk a bit more about this project, because this is a project that began in 2018, and I think it's one of the largest, maybe the largest construction project that we have ever done in Orkla's branded consumer goods area. And in this new plant, we will specialize in the production of biscuit and wafer, and we believe that this facility will be the biggest of its kind in the Baltics and Scandinavia. So we are creating this competence center here in Riga, and also closing down our facilities in Sweden and the current one in Riga. And then in this new factory, we are producing a number of these, our strong, long-standing brands, both from Norway, Sweden, Finland, Estonia, and so on. And we think around 75% of the product here will actually be exported to other companies. So it's very important that this facility will stand for the highest Scandinavian standard. It's a big facility, 30,000 ton production capacity. We will have 32,000 square meters, a number of product lines, and so on. And a huge investment for us as well, around 32 million euros only in the construction itself. And then also we will do significant investments both in new equipment, new production lines, and so on. So we believe that this is one of the biggest investments in the food sector in Latvia recently. And building this totally new, huge factory is also a huge opportunity for us for being a guiding star for sustainable innovation and production. And it's a unique opportunity to build a totally new factory. So doing this, we've set a very kind of visionary, sustainable vision for the project. We want to be a guiding star for sustainable production. And in this, we've made these 6 commitments, focusing on different parts of the project and later the operation of the new factory. And of these 6 commitments, we've chosen one that we are focusing the very most on, to contribute to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees. And as I mentioned earlier, also, we have a huge responsibility because the food production industry is a big source for greenhouse gas emissions. So we have already made some really important decisions when it comes to this part of our vision. So one of them is that we have decided to go from gas ovens to electric ovens, and that will reduce our CO2 emissions with more than 20%. And to secure that it's based on renewable electricity, we document that through guarantees of origin. We will also work a lot on the energy consumption. We are building a totally new facility, so it will be a new building, it will be new machinery, and they will all be much more energy efficient. We are also investigating possibilities for energy recovery, where we use energy from the production process and can use them to both heat the facilities and also as energy source for other parts of the production. We are preparing for solar panels on the roofs. We are exploring possibilities also for using biogas. So a lot of work on the climate footprint, but we are also working on different other parts of sustainability. So for us, producing food, it's also a lot about the nutritional value of food. It's about taking out sugar, taking out salt. We are replacing palm oil with other type of oils. It's about the packaging of the product, and it's also about what raw materials we use. And then to be able to succeed with this over time, it's also important to have very clear targets that we follow and track. So we are setting these ambitious targets, we are cascading them down to all the employees, and we will be constantly monitoring them over time to make sure that this is not just a kind of a short-term focus, but a very integrated long-term focus of the total operation. Yes, so coming to an end here, I would say that with this project, we are setting really high goals for what we want to achieve, and we want to be a driving force in making the food sector in Latvia more sustainable. And we know that high goals will trigger new behaviors. It will require a lot of focus and effort, and definitely high investments as well, but we believe that this is the right road ahead. So we have ambitious plans, and we are really looking forward to work together with the whole Latvian society and also the government towards more sustainable living. So thank you very much for listening.
Ingvill, thank you very much for the presentation. That is a tasty giant chocolate behind your back right there. Sort of makes me.
I am in the Lima meeting room here. We have a Lima meeting room at our office.
Makes me salivate just a little bit. I haven't had my lunch yet. Nevertheless, just a couple of questions. They are coming in over Slido. But also some of them have been submitted beforehand, and I'll sort of put them together, combine them into this. So the concern is, okay, you laid out for us the story about the new factory, about that project, and means of transportation, and all of these measures that are directed at sort of climate-friendly policies. So the question is there sort of additional also directions? You sort of mentioned that, but nevertheless, one of the listeners wants you to expand on the use of organic biological ingredients, on fair trade practices, on packaging, and also there's another aspect coming into this. What demands will you be putting on your suppliers and vendors when it becomes to this green business conduct? How do you actually enact it in practice? So I'm trying to combine those issues. If you could cover them in up to 2 minutes, please.
Yeah, well, it's a huge question, and also a lot of important aspects there as well. Just maybe starting with the last one, because it doesn't help what we are doing on our side. We also need to, of course, work together through the whole value chain. So for us, it's a lot about the supplier code of conduct that we use within all our contracts, and then focusing on all these aspects, both on human rights, labor rights, health, and also the environment part. And this is something that we follow closely up on all contracts and with all our suppliers. And then you are also asking about kind of the raw material, the packaging, and those are both areas where we have worked a lot. On the ingredient part, it differs what kind of risk you have for different materials. So we work a lot on mapping where are the high risk raw materials where we really need to have a focus, cocoaing being one of them, and a certification. Now working closely with the Rainforest Alliance certification is a very important part of that. You mentioned packaging as well, and what is important there is to be able to find and use packaging that actually can be recycled and used again. So far it isn't possible to use recycled packaging or plastic for food, but still it can be recycled and used in other type of products. And then also, where do the plastic that we use come from? And that is also, it is also possible to develop that based on on renewable sources. So it's a lot of job work, and you have to work on a number of different aspects, and that is also, I think, what our sustainability strategy in Orkla shows, that it is it's a big work on a number of areas going hand in hand, and very much a focus of the whole business.
Ingvill, it was a pleasure having you join us today. Thank you very much for joining us.